So we already did exponents, and now we're going to do exponents 2. Which is just a little bit of a harder version of exponents. So I'm going to write 2 problems on the board, and we're going to look at what the difference in these, actually I'm going to change this to this, and we're going to look at what the difference in these 2 problems is. The first thing you always have to do is look at the exponent and ask yourself, what does the exponent belong to? Does it belong to the 4 or does it belong to the negative 4? So in this case, you can see that the parentheses make this exponent belong to negative 4. So I would solve that by doing negative 4 times negative 4 and getting 16. In this case, because there are no parentheses, the squared belongs to the 4. So I would need to do 4 times 4. But you know what? We can't just ignore that negative sign. That negative sign means times negative 1. So now we have negative 1 times 4 times 4, and we get negative 16. So these 2 problems that looked the same really gave us completely different answers. If you think about this negative 1, if I have the number 16 and I multiply 16 by negative 1, doesn't it give me negative 16? That's what that means. It means the opposite of this. So by putting in that negative 1, I just don't forget to do it. Okay, so let's look at some of the more challenging type, like this one. So I like to have you draw arrows so that you can break the problem up into 2 parts. So in this case, what does the exponent belong to? Does it belong to 2 or negative 2? Belongs to negative 2. So it would be negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2, which gives us negative 8. It's subtraction, so I'm going to bring down that subtraction sign. And then over here, what does the 2 belong to? It belongs to 3. 3 times 3 gives me 9. I now have negative 8 minus 9. Oh, an integer problem. Add the opposite, and I get negative 17. We'll try one more. I could put brackets around this just to make it clearer. So I'm going to do my arrows so that I'm very clear in my work so I don't get confused. 4 squared means 4 times 4. The squared belongs to the 5, so it's 5 times 5. I have to bring down the negative 1. So I get negative 25. It was subtraction, and I had 16 here. Integer problem. Add the opposite, I get 9. So I'm going to give you one to try right now at home, and I'll give you a minute to do it, and then we'll go over it. Don't forget to draw those arrows. If you're not done, you can pause it. So we're going to draw an arrow here. We're going to draw an arrow here. Negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. Bring down the subtraction sign. What does the 2 belong to? It belongs to this 2. So it's 2 times 2. Let's not forget that -1, giving us -4. Integer problem. Add the opposite, and we get 13. Okay?